All right, I'm Taylor Sutherland,
And I'm Hunter Sutherland.
and we're here at Chloe's Chop House in Bellaire. We're hoping to open here for a launch date in mid-May, and we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So I'll let Hunter start here with a bit of his background, and then we can go from there.
All right, so me and Taylor, we're both brothers, and we both grew up in Central Lake, small town. We went through high school together, a couple of grades apart, and we quickly entered the kitchens together. I started cooking throughout high school even, as just growing up and cooking around the house. And then after I graduated, I jumped in the kitchens because I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And then along the way, we fell in love kind of with food, I think. I started on the line cooking, and the same year, shortly after, Taylor's on the line with me, and we've kind of followed each other through the kitchens across northern Michigan, a little bit around the area at least, to quite a few places. So,
Yeah. So we grew up in Central Lake, not a whole lot of job opportunities, and it was important for both of us to start working professionally young. So one of the options there was the Lamplight Inn, which used to be the Lamplight Inn, turned into the Blue Pelican. And actually, all three of us brothers, our oldest brother Nick, Hunter, and I all worked in the same location there. Started washing dishes, bussing tables. Yeah. So that's where it all started, just because of the location. We could walk there, very convenient. And with Hunter and I, it really stuck. So we started working together young, worked at a few restaurants together, which was really fun, knowing somebody, having a brother there that can coach me along. And then throughout the years, we went our separate ways. Hunter eventually became the executive chef of the Weather Vane, and I went on to work in Traverse City at Mackinac Brewing Company and Sheldy's back when that was a thing, and wound up with my first executive chef position at the Torchlight Cafe. Shortly after that, decided to open a location here in Bellaire, which is the Corner Bistro. I'm still currently a part of that, and it's going so well that we decided to open a secondary location with my brother and I, which has been a childhood dream of ours, really. So that's a short background of kind of how I got here today. And Hunter, throughout his education, went to a culinary school, so he's formally educated, whereas I went to business, and it kind of came together with a match made in heaven. So
they all played out pretty well at the end of it.
Absolutely.
Do you guys, do you remember a time growing up or earlier in your career where do you remember that moment where we would our dream is to open a restaurant together? Do you recall that, or how did you get to the point where this might be a thing?
Yeah. Do you want to take that, Hunter?
Well, I think we were both very competitive individuals throughout high school. We were in a whole spew of sports. Oftentimes, putting a lot of effort, a lot of time into those things. I think that kind of carried over into college, and we both still cooked with each other throughout college when we were in college. I remember a lot of times being in school, but also doing homework and hanging out with Taylor. We'd go to restaurants and analyze and look and really studying what they were doing. And I think that was kind of when things started becoming more serious about this is something we really want to do one day. It would be opening up a restaurant.
Yeah, I think for both of us growing up, we didn't go out to eat a whole lot. But when we did, we really appreciated it. It was special occasions, so we appreciated every bit that we could. And as Hunter mentioned, we grew up playing football, super important to us in Central Lake. And I'll describe it to anyone that hasn't been in the kitchens before, that it's really a team sport in the kitchen. It's almost like you're on a team, and it's competitive. It's a bit of a high-stress environment, and it feels good to get good at it. So at a certain point, I think Hunter and I realized that we're kind of good at this, and of course, you get a feel-good feeling from that, and you just keep pushing it and ask ourselves, how far can we go? And here we are today, and we're excited to keep pushing the limits here in Bellaire. Yeah.
Beautiful. So I know you guys have talked about having a little bit different styles in your cooking and your philosophy. Can you guys talk a little bit about what each of you bring to Chloe's Chop House?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I really love to capture fresh flavors, fresh ingredients, the quality of ingredients locally. I try to think of what would pair as far as the area or regions go, you know. And that's helped me with a lot of my plate designs, I feel like. When in northern Michigan, I think of orchards, I think of the woods that we have. I think of a lot of those things that you can find naturally in the area and try to source the best quality of ingredients that I can get and pairing flavors and notes in that way. And some of that being culinary, and a lot of that also just working in a lot of kitchens in the area. I think I've been in over 20 kitchens total to list off, and that for me gets a lot of the creativity going, you know. So.
Yeah, and on my end, I didn't go to culinary school. I'm more of the creative. Let's take, whatever, see what works. I'm all about the best ingredients outsourced. So I love fresh oysters. I love sushi, Japanese cuisine, you name it. I love playing with other cultures, you know. So it's really fun to kind of balance those two approaches. Hunter, I'd say you're probably also more of a center plate specialist, you know, with steaks and presentation and whatnot. And I tend to do more of, smaller composed little odds and ends. So apps and creative kind of things. So it's a different approach, and cooking apart for so many years, and then coming back together has been really fun. We've had a lot of the same kind of ideas as we're developing menus. I'll say, geez, I did this dish that worked great 3 years ago. And Hunter's like, I did the same one, So we've had a lot of those conversations with the flavors we stumble upon and what worked, what didn't work. So it's really fun to work with another professional chef that can rein me in, I can rein him in, and we can also push each other's limits to create a menu that's focused, creative, and going to be the best for the area. So, yeah.
Well, I think we got into what everybody wants to know about. Let's talk about Chloe's Chop House.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to know where did the name come from.
Yeah.
Can you answer the question of the century?
Absolutely. So Hunter and I were kind of just briefly going over, do we want to do this thing? If so, what are we going to call it? Before we do a business plan, we absolutely have to have a name, right? And so we were going over a whole bunch of different ideas. Nothing really stuck. And Hunter said, well, let's personalize it a little bit. And he said, we could call it Taylor's Chop House. I was like, no, that's terrible. That's terrible. I was like, well, my daughter's name is Chloe. And I was like, well, this is kind of why we're working, is for family. So, so we picked Chloe's Chop House. And I hope one day she'll be working here right alongside with us.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it flows, it's nice, and it has a lot of meaning, so, yeah.
Well, and I know you guys talk a lot about family, and I think that's a special thing. Can you talk a little bit more about your guys' relationship, and as far as what you hope to gain from opening this restaurant together, and what that really means to you guys as a family?
Yeah. You want to take that one? Go for it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very difficult to work with two chefs in one kitchen. And fortunately, being family, it makes that a lot easier sometimes, especially when we've worked together in multiple places. It's almost kind of scary sometimes when I'm working on a plate or an idea, and I look over and Taylor's doing a very similar style as myself, because there's not many people. Most chefs have their own signature styles in the area. So when you see someone that has a very similar style as yourself, it's almost kind of a little rattling, honestly. I think that the style, the approach that we're taking to the Chop House, having Taylor definitely take up the breakfast, the lunch side of things, and having a lot of strong advice and input on designing this dinner menu with me has definitely brought out the best in both of us, because we both have different areas that we're focusing on within the same menu. So instead of trying to compete with each other over a certain area or a certain thing, instead we're each heading up different areas in the menu, which is, I think, bringing out the best of both of our talents per se.
Yeah. Yeah, when we worked together in previous kitchens, Hunter was always the voice, the organizer, the coordinator on the line, and I was always the one to kind of fill the gaps, and which kind of speaks to having different roles and respecting each other's roles in that, which is fun, and it can, if done right, it can really grow and get the best of both expertises. So. And we talk a lot about vision of the restaurant and what we want the ultimate product to look like. So it's important to be on the same page, and it's also important to complement each other on that, which is really fun working together after years with family again. So for the first time in, 20 years, all of our family lives in Michigan again, which is super exciting. So yeah, it's really nice to kind of make this kind of a family thing. So yeah, we're very excited for that.
Good. You just touched on your vision for the Chop House. Can you guys elaborate on what it is that you hope to bring to Bellaire at Chloe's?
Absolutely, yeah. So traveling downstate, I've been to a lot of nicer chop houses, nicer steak houses that offer a level of service and product that we don't see up here in northern Michigan. So really the vision is to bring some of that downstate Detroit, Chicago style, old school chop house feel to northern Michigan and offer some of those nice fresh products that you would see in larger cities, but make it available up here. After growing up, there was multiple excellent restaurants, and unfortunately through the years we've lost a lot of them, and so we want to bring that level of excellent service and that level of really nice, well done steaks. Not cooked well done, by the way, to Bellaire. So that's really the hope and the vision that I see. And Hunter, anything you want to elaborate on that?
I just think Bellaire needs a steakhouse.
Yeah.
We need big, heavy, good food, and it's something that I think we miss around here. So I'm happy that me and Taylor can put our best foot forward and hopefully provide the people in the area of Bellaire with some really good steaks and seafood.
Absolutely.
Now, can you guys end the debate from the chef point of view? What is the proper temperature to cook a steak?
That is a great question, and we can tell you not well done unless you're dealing with a roast. I prefer most of my steaks medium rare, but really it does depend on the guest and what their preference is. In dealing with nicer meats, it's really nice to showcase that in a medium rare to medium kind of fashion. So that's what we tend to recommend.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I think leads us perfectly into what we all want to know: what the heck's on the menu?
Absolutely.
Can you guys go into what the menu's going to look like? And I know
Sure.
you're in the right now, you're just finalizing that menu.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that going to look like for guests coming up?
Mm-hmm. Well, we have a tentative menu online that I'm sure a lot of you have seen, but the big surprise is that's kind of a placeholder, and Hunter's just now finishing up developing the dinner menu. So I'm going to let you kind of explain what's changing and what's going to be expected.
So we're taking a different angle on designing this menu. Most places in the area are composed plates, and some of them are a la carte menus. Being a chop house, especially downstate, we've seen a lot of a la carte menus. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to bring the best of both worlds together for Bellaire for you guys. So the composed menu, what I love about the composed menu is that we're offering great cooks, we're offering great prices, we're offering a whole lot of quality ingredients to make it a very family-friendly experience. Now, on the a la carte menu, we're also offering the best cuts that we can possibly find. We have our ribeyes, we have our fillets, York strips,
Dry-aged items, yeah.
dry aged items. We're trying new cold smoking techniques that I've never seen before. We are sticking with ocean fish. We are heavy on shellfish as far as crab and lobster and oysters. You'll see some caviar on the menu. So a whole lot of unique things that we don't see much of in the area. And I think that there's truly something for everyone here at the Shop House.
Yeah, so really if you want to keep it easy, feel free to come in and order our composed plates. They're meant for somebody that wants to order a steak. It's going to come with a beautiful starch, a beautiful veg, and some really nice toppings. Now if you're a true steak eater, true steak lover, you can feel free to order the a la carte, and you can really build it however you want. You can add foie gras, you can add caviar, however you want to do it. You can make it your own on that. So it really gives options for every diner, every guest that walks in. There should be something. So we're also going to be offering a breakfast and lunch menu. So at least through the summertime, we're going to be doing a really nice breakfast menu. In the winter, we're going to play that by ear. But you can expect to see a really sharp, well-designed breakfast and lunch menu. It's going to be more upscale food, something that you really don't see around here all that much, creative style, steak focused as well. So hopefully you're going to see a lot of things in our breakfast and lunch menu that's going to be unique, that you're not going to find anywhere else, and it's going to spark some ideas for everybody in the area, I think, of a different way to eat breakfast.
There's one more thing I feel like that we're also bringing to the area. I think that with us opening up in Bellaire, we're also bringing a great workplace to the area. There are many talented cooks and chefs out there, and we're looking for the best of them all. And we're willing to teach, we're willing to train. We were both on many sports teams, like you said, growing up, and we have two other brothers too. So we definitely are great at working as a team. And if you're looking for a great place to work this summer, if you're looking to learn about food and cooking, I would find it challenging to find anywhere else that has this level of knowledge that we're bringing to the table between both of us together. So I really hope that we get to meet some more of you from the area. I hope that we get to see some familiar faces coming through the door as well. So just another angle, another thing that we're bringing to the area, I feel like is a really great place to work. So.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And one thing we haven't gone over a whole lot is the building, the iconic Lulu's building. So I know we've gotten a lot of questions. What's it going to look like inside? And we want to keep the original beauty of the building, so we're not doing a full remodel. However, we're going to bring out a little darker colors, make it feel like a steakhouse. We're going to do some really fun things with the patio. We want guests to feel super welcome out there, maybe even an outdoor grill. There's going to be a TV in the bar area so that way we can watch games in here. As far as kitchen design goes, there's going to be a char grill that uses charcoal, which is unique to the area. Not a ton of places are doing that, so all of our steaks should really get a down-home barbecue kind of feel to it with that charcoal. It's going to bring out that depth of flavor. So really, the kitchen and the building itself is going to be built for a steakhouse as we're doing that. Everything that we're doing is bearing that in mind. So thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing everybody come in and check out Chloe's Chop House when we open. Again, opening date target is going to be for mid-May of 2024, and we hope that everyone gets to come in and enjoy the experience that Bellaire has been asking for. Thanks so much, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah. I think anything else would be giving away too many secrets, I think. Can't tell you everything we're doing back there.
No, yeah.
Love it.